What's going on, guys? Matt over here, Lethal Garage, and today we are installing a ZL1 conversion bumper on a 2012 Camaro SS. Now, this install works on a 2010 to 2013. Yes, you can do a conversion on the 14-15, but no, you have to change the headlights and a couple other things. It becomes a lot more expensive, so usually 14-15 guys don't do it. They usually opt for the Z28 front end. But all that being stated, we already have the bumper off, but we have the ZL1 new setup set up. You'll see our old SS bumper. If you guys haven't removed an SS bumper, check out the link in the upper right hand corner. It's a direct link that I uploaded earlier showing you how to remove the front, but this video is all about transferring over the parts that come from the SS front bumper to the ZL1 if you don't buy all the ZL1 parts, and then installing it. So let's do it. Here we have the ZL1 conversion from Gen 5 DIY. The only thing that is different that you're seeing right here from when you get it is you will get it unpainted. So we went down to Paradise Auto. They painted the front clip for us. How much did they charge you for that, Dad?
Just under five.
Under 500 bucks for the full paint job. They did an amazing job painting. I mean, it looks great. He brought his car over, they color matched it and got it all painted. Obviously in the kit, you get the crash bar, you get the lower bumper, you get the main bumper, you get the bezels, you get the lights. Now, because my dad had a 2SS, he already had the fog lights, so we'll take the fog lights out of that and mount it up with this. And then also, what you can do is you can reuse your SS front grille, or you can opt to pay for the ZL1 front grille and upgrade it. It's about, I think it's just under 200 bucks for the ZL1 front grille. But yeah, so in this instance, we just have to transfer over the pieces that we're carrying over. So we are taking the SS upper grille and the light bezels and transferring them over to this setup, and then we'll get it all put together and installed. So let's start by taking the parts and pieces off the SS bumper and get them into the ZL1 bumper. I'm using a finishing tool because this entire upper grille here is held in with just basically pressure. So there's pressure clips all the way here that we got to pop off, but there are 3 alligator clips on the bottom. They're metal clips. I call them pain in the butt clips because they're really hard to get off. But all these ones are just pressure and we just pull it off. So I'm on the grass here so I don't scratch up the paint on the bottom. Oh, these ones are actually coming off a lot easier than I anticipated. I know the ones on my 6th gen were a nightmare. So these are like the bonus safety clips.
There's always one.
Where'd you go? Fell behind the crash bar. I get it. Oh, there you are. I see you. I see you. Perfect. Now we can start on one corner and just start separating it. And usually once you get one, they all start coming. And it does look like the crash bar here is, it slides in here, but we can just pull that back and that comes right out just like that. Pretty easy. Now we can actually clean this up a little bit easier because we don't have to bend over to get to it. Now we need to get the fog lights out. So disconnecting the lights, they come off pretty easily, maybe. So there's the main holding piece and then the actual light. Now, I might have to get a different tool for this. I don't think I could do this with my fingers, but hey, we'll find out. I like doing things the complicated way. It's like if you just put pressure on this. Ah, look at that. I think that's the trick. If you just apply pressure on the one that's missing, it collapses the other one. Maybe that's what I just missed the whole time, huh? Huh? Maybe? Light bulb. So yeah, I'm an idiot this whole time. Instead of trying to collapse the 3 corners, if you just apply pressure on the missing one, they fall in. I'm an idiot, I know. So now we have one other piece I didn't realize we were reusing, but it made sense that it had the plastic rivets in the package for all the new hardware, but we're reusing the upper black trim piece. Now, you can go buy a brand new one if you have a faded, messed up one. These are actually pretty easy to replace, but they do provide in the kit new plastic rivets that rivet this in, along with reusing the clips here. Now in my dad's instance, some of them were broken missing, so we bought some new ones at GM, but you reuse those to put it in place. So if you are just reusing it, you can use a pair of snips and just cut the back side of the rivets. These are plastic, they're not metal, so they come off pretty easily. So that gets the rivets out. And then this should just pop out. There you go. So obviously we're using some pieces. Now my dad's front grille, it's 2012. It was looking pretty bad, but we used Revival from Clarity 1. You could see it does a really good job. These were super faded, had white marks all over it, just looked bad. But now it looks basically brand new. This product I love. I use it on my car all the time. It's Revival, it's from Clarity 1. You can go clarity1.net and snag it. But you can see, we'll show you the before and after on these pieces. So obviously these are trim pieces. You can see they're faded, they're dirty. They just don't look pretty. Like you would rather buy new ones than put these back on the car, but check out what they look like after we get the Revival on them. So Revival, you just want to use an applicator pad. We're using gloves because this stuff can get kind of slimy. It doesn't have a slimy feel after you put it on, but rub it on, get it into all the cracks and crevices. And it basically does what the name is. It revives that plastic. Now this isn't like the stuff you buy at the store and it only lasts like a couple weeks or a week. This stuff lasts a long time. I believe they advertised it'll last 6 months. I've noticed it lasts even longer than that.
Where's the other one? We'll compare them.
Oh yeah, you can see side-by-side comparison. Dirty versus clean. Yeah, I love this stuff. Trying to get a shot. Maybe we can go in the shade and you can really, it's hard to really tell, but I mean they are shiny. These look brand new. Like there's no need to spend money on new ones. You can buy a $10 bottle of Revival, it'll last you forever, and just revive everything. Revival, clarity1.net. At this point we're transferring over parts and putting the parts in. We have the main bezel piece, but keep in mind you have to kind of put the light housing in before you can put this in, or it makes it hard. Like you can't get this in. So if you just put this piece in and we'll orient it properly. I found if you bend these pieces just a little bit, you can get them to go into the slots a little bit better on the inside. If not, but you just got to snap these in and make sure on the back side the clips are all the way through holding. I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see the clips right here. Get these little standoffs. So they're in place. This light will just sit here loosely, and I'll show you how that mounts solidly. And then we'll also get this light and mount that. So let's go to the back side. So we're now on the back side, and it's pretty self-explanatory on how this mounts to the light. Obviously you remember us pulling out those plastic pieces. Those slide into here, and then this piece buckles on to these clips all the way around. So you'll have to hold the front side of the light to get it to pressure on. And then we can line the light up with the clips. And then they literally just push on. There we go. And just apply a little pressure with your thumb, and it gets everything to snap into place. So that light is now into place. Now we have the lower light, and this is orientated with a big bolt up top and then 2 bolts on the bottom. These bolts do face the bottom, and I'll see if I can get a better angle here. But this literally just slides right in. You can see in the top of the bezel where you access this bolt. So you just want to line it right up with that, and this just pushes on and snaps in place. And you want to make sure you get all sides to clip. You may have to hold your hand around the front side of the bumper while you're applying pressure. There we go. And that just snaps in place and you're good to go. Those are all installed. Now looking at the front side, the lights are in perfect. And I do want to apologize for fluffy hair mode, and it's getting pretty windy outside, so I'm hoping my windsock on my mic is doing its job and it's not super loud, and but we'll find out when I edit this video. Okay, so now that we have those in place, I'm tired of this sagging, so we're gonna put the upper grill in place, and this goes in just the same way as it came out. So you'll wanna, it usually works out best if you line up the bottom first. And this sometimes is better with two people helping, because the top is sagging so much. You just gotta get it to line up. Oh, there's the tape. This piece. Get lined up. Almost gonna have to lay it. Oh gosh. You just can't see how it clips. There you go.
The right side's not in.
It's okay. That's in, that's in, that's in. That's not in. And the bottom's in. The top is started. Kind of. Bam. Now we just got to get the clips. Okay, so now we're going to slide the front lower grill portion on. Apologies for camera work here, but it basically just slides on and snaps in just like the front one, so you can see all the plastic clips along the edge. So we'll slide it under. Sorry, trying to record and do the same time, but basically there's the plastic clips that you're just sliding in and pushing in. Here, I'll see if I can get my dad. Here, can you hold it? Just kidding. Hopefully you can see. If not, I apologize. But again, these all just snap in place. Literally just hugging the grill in my lap. Probably be better if I start at this corner. I have nothing to hold on to. There. Now we have the lower front grill piece on, and I believe now we can put the crash bar part and get the wiring and transfer over the hash markers and all that stuff. So now we're gonna put our trim pieces back on. You're gonna need a rivet tool for the plastic rivets, and they literally just slide in, and it should, I don't even think it's gonna take two pull. There we go. That works. Oh. It's a little springy. He's just like springy. He's so springy. This is harder to do than the metal ones. But yeah, just install these across and we'll move to the next step. So at this point, we get our crash bar up in place and it just slides and clips on, just like that. And now we're gonna go get our hash markers and our wiring and adapt it to the front end to get everything plugged in. And then we'll use the Gen 5 harness, which we have right here, to power the lower lights and all that great stuff. So let's do that. So we got our hash markers that are held in with just these plastic clip. So that just comes right out. And then this is an alligator clip. I hate these clips. So this harness has seen better days. So you remember this is the main harness that we unplugged, or that you would unplug when you remove the front end. And then this is and the new bumper has this part on there. So I'm just gotta get you out. Right? Right. We literally just walk over. So here, do the same thing. Oh, I guess we have to unplug it. So that's in place. We have our fog. Look, it even plugs right on in. Well, this one has a clip. This is a metal clip, so we can probably, if I put you right there. Look, it's like it almost lines up. It's like it's meant to go there. So this is the control harness. I'm gonna go see if I can get that clip off. Go ahead and put you there. That sits there. You plug in here. Wow, that's really tight fit. It looks like someone messed with it. Now remember, my dad's car is a previously owned, so someone did some wiring. We'll have to retape that, make it look pretty. So I'm gonna try to get this clip off. It's kind of a pain. Probably work better if I did use needle, no pliers. But all I gotta do is get it to start, right? Oh, see? That was easy. So now we have the Gen 5 DIY harness. This plug goes into the body module. This is your relay that's gonna be required. And then this cable here is gonna go up to your battery. So both of these are gonna tuck up near the fuse box and whatnot. But this plug goes in here. Is this the right one? Oh, I didn't get the clip. There it goes. So that's plugged in. This is going to end up coming up, so we're good there. This cable goes right in to the factory. Which one's that? It looks the same. Oh, they're side clips. That's why. So that clips in. We're good there. Let's see if I can I force two cables in there? No. So I'm gonna have to zip tie these, which is fine. Go ahead. Oh, there is a specific way that it's going. So I'm gonna go get some zip ties and we'll get this up and looking pretty. And then we're almost at the point now where we can put the bumper back on the car. But I want to verify there's some metal clips and some bolts and screws, but I think all of those can go in once the bumper is back on the car. Okay, we got all the pieces except for the lower, there's like a little lower belly pan. I'm literally gonna put that on after the fact because I can reach underneath the car. once the bumper's on. But we're gonna put the bumper onto the car and then show you all the new connections. Well, not new connections, but how it reconnects. And then we do have to drill new holes to mount the fender liners because we're running the SS fender liners, not the ZL1 ones. So we'll do that, but let's get it on. Okay, first fitment issue that we're having, and I don't know if I'm assuming the ZL1 has a different portion here, but basically the part of the grill that sweeps back on the inside is hitting this piece. So I'm gonna take a Dremel, we're just gonna cut both ends off so it clears, and then we'll try again. Attempt number 2. Fitment issue number 2. Now what we've noticed is we trim the sides, that clears, that's good. I think it's important to have this funnel or direction for the air to still be there. We can still keep it functioning, but we basically have to cut across the nose because this is pushing into the front nose of the ZL1 bumper. So we'll basically just cut a nice line across and it will allow it to still function. So I'm gonna edit that next. I didn't do that bad cutting that. Okay, fitment number 3. So I'm underneath the car and I apologize, I didn't show you there's little square metal clips that go into the front of this plastic piece, and this plastic piece just slides right into the lower grill. And then if you remember when you took off your front, there's the two 10mm bolts. These ones I had to kind of like pull the whole back bumper back to get these to go in straight. So I did have to pull back a bit, but it's on there pretty good. Now I'm going to be taking the 7mm bolts and putting them across the front, which supports this bottom grill piece to the main and sunlight. But we'll get those all in across the whole front, and then we'll have that installed. Okay, so at this point we got to put our 7mm bolt here and our 10mm bolts. There's 3 of them across the side. It's going to be really hard to do that and record at the same time, but 7mm bolt goes right in. You see 7mm goes there. Trying to get it to thread so it doesn't just fall out. No, I'm not going to get it to thread. Come on! You guys get the idea. And then the 10mm, which again, one there, and then one way up there that you can't see. But tighten those down both sides, and then I'll show you how to drill and mount the fender liner.
Oh no.
Okay, so in the wheel well, I was smart. I have a couple extra of these clips from the front of my car when I redid it a while ago. You can go to GM and order a couple of these. It's gonna come in handy, and that way you can reuse the 15mm Torx size. Now the top placement is still gonna work. You can see where I have the clip already that was on the stock setup. And then I use 2 of my clips here. So basically I just need to drill 2 holes into this so that way the screws will mount into the ZL1 factory placement. So you can see where my little adapters are. Again, these are available on the front bumper of a 6th gen Camaro. I'm just reusing the ones that I had laying around, but it's gonna allow us to use the 7mm bolts and go right into the factory placement for the ZL1 bumper. So I'm gonna drill those holes and then screw them in, and we're gonna be good to go. So basically 2 holes need to be drilled on this side to get a nice tight fit. You can see where the SS factory holes were. You can see where my new holes are, but that is on there, good to go. Rinse and repeat the other side, and we're basically done here. I don't know if I'm getting hot or tired, if it's just because the police showed up, but I totally forgot to record this part. So I'm gonna walk you through connecting the positive terminal to your fuse box or battery block, and then also where I put the relay. If you guys don't know, corn-fed Camaro. So this cable here on the front side of your fuse box is a hot, so it's a hot positive for the fuse block. I went ahead and tapped in for the power of the red cable right here. Now on the side of the fuse block, there was a little hole right there. I grabbed a tree clip. It's not included in the kit, but I had a whole bunch. Just got a tree clip, pushed it in. It was a perfect mount for that relay. So it looks really clean. And when actually I can get this cable to come out right here. Maybe get this to tuck. Dang. This is hard to do while holding a camera. Here, there we go. Perfect. Clipped in, perfect. We're powered up. Now the front end is on. Now we need to climb under the car and plug in the body module to power all the lights, because I haven't done that yet, and finish drilling in this side fender, or the fender well and everything, and we're good to go. Now we need to plug in the main body module plug to the harness plug. As you remember earlier, we plugged in the harness to the original plug, but we just get that in and tuck it in. You don't really need to zip tie anything over here, because this fender cover is gonna block and hold everything in place. So, but we ran, again, from the bottom view, we ran that extra cable up. I used that tree clip right here to hold in that relay, and then plugged it all in. So let's get this side drilled and buttoned up, and we'll be good to go. You know, one thing I forgot to point out was you could see with the Gen 5 DIY, you can get the cowl lines to match up. So again, if you're not planning to run the ZL1 hood, and you're gonna keep your SS hood, they'll make the lines so they match up to the hood lines. Like if you had the ZL1, the line would be out here. So basically adjust the hood so it lines up, it looks super clean, and it looks like it belongs for the SS. Well, there you have it. ZL1 front end completely on. We got the wheels buttoned up, obviously dropped. Had my dad drive it down the street and back to get the car settled a little bit. Still sitting a little high from being jacked up, but I'm hot, I'm tired, it's sunny, but it's done. So ZL1 conversion. If you guys have any questions about the product, post them down below. It is available at Gen 5 DIY. I posted a direct link down below as well. Outside of that, pretty straightforward. Now, if you do want to add the ZL1 fenders and the fender flares and all that stuff, you could do that, but that is separate. Yeah, I'm out of breath. I'm tired. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, comments below. Thanks for everything, guys. More 5th gen content coming. Hopefully not as sweaty. Actually, it'll probably be sweatier because it's summer coming. But until next time, I'll see you on the road.